And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at North Rock Lanes in Wichita, Kansas for live coverage of the PWBA Wichita Open. I'm Jason Thomas, and we'll be joined shortly by Emil Williams Jr., setting up some of our social media and other website obligations. And he'll be along in just a moment to join us with coverage here from the PWBA Tour. It's the Midwest Swing here on Extra Frame. Our West Coast Swing just wrapped up last week at the Queens and had a great opening telecast, live event for Bernice Lim from Singapore took home the title. And 3 other shows were taped, and they will start airing on June 7th on CBS Sports Network. But this week we've got another great event, and we'll find out who the TV finalists are for the PWBA Wichita Open. A couple of pairs in front of us here this morning. Some of our international players on these pairs. We saw them bowl last week at the Queens. And some of our American players joining them as well. Sharon Coe on the left lane there. She spares her first frame of the tournament. She's bowling with Angelina Beasley. Debbie Ayers, who is trying to start the day on the wrong lane. And Carrie Smith. And they're bowling on our featured pair to the right, and that would be 25 and 26. And on our other featured pair to our left, Tanya Rumenper is going to be shooting at the 8-pin. Stephanie Moores started off with a strike, and she'll be up on our left lane in just a sec. And Brandy Sanderson, lefty, will be up shortly on the right. And Sayadatul Hamidi will be our 4th player. And she started off the game with a strike. .41-foot oil pattern laid down this week. Medium volume ice oil, 26.89 ml. And the pattern posted on PWBA.com if you're interested in seeing the layout for that. And seemed to be quite a few strikes in practice yesterday. I don't think we'll see scores as high as we saw at the Queens, but should be a medium to high scoring pace, I would expect. Lanes will be re-oiled after this 6-game round, and ladies will take the lanes again at 5 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Eastern, for the final 6 games of qualifying here today. And then we'll cut to our top 32, who will advance to the Cashers round tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. local time. After those 6 games, we'll cut to our 12 finalists for the round-robin match play. And if you've been watching this season, you'll know that those match play finalists are broken up into 2 groups. And the leader at the end of the 6-game round-robin match play round for each group will advance to the telecast as the number 1 and number 2 seeds. And they will be joined by the winners of the group stepladder finals, which will take place side by side at 5 p.m. local time tomorrow. So should have some great action here at Frank and Kathy DeSocio's place, North Rock Lanes. Beautiful 48-lane facility here in Wichita. It's the home of the intercollegiate team and singles championships the last 2 years, so we've spent a little time here in this building the last few months. And Hamidi with a 7-10 split on a pretty good shot there in the second frame. Ultimate Bowling Products, we announced at the Queens, kind enough to sponsor a 7-10 promotion on television. If a player on our CBS Sports Network telecast were to convert a 7-10 split on television, they'd receive a $100,000 bonus. So that's a great promotion that Ultimate Bowling Products, one of our product registered partners, has agreed to offer. Unfortunately, not going to be in play here for Hamidi, but see if she can give us some early excitement as she goes after a 7-10 split. And just takes the 10 pin. But we had quite a few 7-10 attempts at the TV shows that were just taped in Las Vegas last week, so I won't tell you if anybody made one, but definitely sends a jolt of electricity through the building whenever someone shoots at one of those for $100,000. Brandy Sanderson, nice shot there, gets her first strike of the tournament. Get a good look at a couple of lefties here in our opening game of qualifying. Stephanie Johnson, our defending champion. She dominated this event last year. She's our tournament leader, and then took down Kelly Kulik in the final. PWBA statistics have been updated on PWBA.com, so if you're interested in seeing how the players have fared through the first 4 events, those statistics are available currently at PWBA.com. The statistics for the unaired TV events were not included in those, so if you're worried about being spoiled, you don't have to worry about that. You can check those out without the TV results being factored in just yet, and we will be adding those as the events unfold. Danielle McEwen is currently dominating the statistics, even though we haven't seen her on TV in any of the standard events. She did make the finals at the Queens last week, so she's currently our leader in earnings, points, cashes, match play appearances, and then tied for third in television appearances with 1. So Angelimar Beasley off to a quick start with a turkey, another one of our lefties. Brandy Sanderson illustrates the out of bounds. And Angelimar with a quick 4-bagger to start the tournament. Had a lot of great media coverage here in Wichita yesterday. Had a media challenge from 11 to 2, and had 4 different TV stations come out and do some coverage of the event, and some local print media as well. So really great coverage here in the local Wichita market. And we'll be sharing some of those links on the PWBA's Facebook page later today as they become available. So you can check that great coverage out if you're not one of the people who lives here in Paradise, as Executive Director of the USBC, Chad Murphy, calls this area. Kelly Kulik, who we mentioned was runner-up here last season, is just off to our right, and she's off to a quick start as well with the front four. Gary Smith with a nice conversion there on the washout. Stays clean through 4 frames. Tanya Rubenper, she's familiar with this area, former Wichita State player. And she bowled well at the Queens last week, made it into the match play finals. Meady going high, fortunate just to leave the 4-7 there, working on a strike, but not able to get her first double of the tournament. Carrie Smith flagging on the 2-5. And Rubenper almost gets the 7 to fall, but not quite. Debbie Ayers gets her first strike on the left lane. So a few players here in the early going having a good go of it and a few struggling. Sharon Coe, good shot there, but ball just hits DOA and leaves a flat 7. Angelimar with front 6, halfway home to a perfect game here in game number 1. And she's giving the other lefties a pretty good clue into the right way to play the lanes. Brandy Sanderson looking for her first double and leaves a flat 7. Spoke earlier this week with Billy Murphy, who runs the pro shop here in North Rock Lanes, also the head coach at Newman University, and he said that even though this install is a newer install, there's still quite a bit of friction in the track. So you would imagine with the way that the ladies like to play the lanes, typically they tend to prefer playing near the track, that part of the lane should open up pretty quickly, and we should be able to see some good scores. And we can see it early with some of the players, mostly just off to our right, who aren't on our featured pairs, not having too many problems early. Kelly Kulik with a possible 257, and Sydney Brummett also has a good score on that pair as well. Tanya Rumenper with a good start. He's hit the pocket on just about every shot here in the first 6 frames. And looks like there's a good look on the left side as well, as Angelimar Beasley has the front 6, now working in the 7th. Hamidi, I think she's pretty close. She's thrown 3 strikes in 6 frames, but it's been a little high, but pretty much all around the pocket. She left remember that 7-10 in the pocket in the second, so she's pulled a pretty good game to have 88 in the 5th. But looks like she's in the right part of the lane. Now Beasley going for the front 7. Another pretty shot. Looks like Debbie Ayers has that left lane figured out, and still has a chance to bail out a 217, but currently on a 177 pace. Tanya Rumenper can still shoot 258, and not anymore. First time she's missed the pocket. now Beasley stepping up in the 8th frame. Still perfect. And asking for that one to push, and it does. And now she's got the front 8. So quick start for Angelica Beasley. And it looks like she's got a little bit of room out there. So if you're just joining us, we're here at North Rock Lanes in Wichita, Kansas. This is the 2016 PWBA Wichita Open. I'm Jason Thomas with USBC Communications. And Emil Williams will be joining us shortly, just getting some social media and website business done. And he's going to take you through the day. And we're here in game number 1 of 12 games of qualifying here today. And we'll cut to our top 32 for our cashers round tomorrow morning. And then cut to our top 12 after those 6 games. And then 6 more games around robin match play. We'll have our 2 top qualifiers for the PWBA Wichita Open Finals, which will be taped in Green Bay on June 26th. And then we'll have our group stepladder finals tomorrow at 5 p.m. to determine our final 2 seeds for the telecast. Debbie Ayers still not able to figure out the secret on that right lane. And she's going to have a tough 2.78 spare to shoot at. Carrie Smith also opens in the 8th frame. And now best she can shoot is 191. Looks like the story here in game number 1 is Angelica Beasley. Can she shoot 300 right out of the gate? We saw Diana Zavyalova do it in Sonoma a few weeks back. Right here on extra frame. And I didn't even have to get my camera out, and can't blame me for that one. But nice run there for Angelica Beasley. And she can still shoot 278, which I'm sure if you'd offered that to her out of the gate, she would have gladly taken it and moved on to the next pair. Angie Ramirez Perea also big game here in game number 1. She's 1 strike away from finishing with 259. I'm sorry, that's not correct. Ashley Rucker can shoot 259, and Angie can shoot 186. So apologize to Anthony Simonson. He's watching, I'm sure, at home for the artificial excitement there, but they have the same initials, AR, and they're both left-handed, so forgive me. And Ashley Rucker does shoot 259, so some lefties out of the gate early here with some big scores, but we also have some right-handers faring just as well. Another lefty off to our right, Katie Garcia, can shoot 258. But on the same pair, Kelly Kulik can also shoot 257. So Beasley gets one a little inside a target there, and that one doesn't lay off, so she has the 2-4 to shoot at, which would put her in the 260s if she can convert. Sharon Coe has made a nice comeback here the last half of this game. She's now got a 4-bagger and can finish with 226 with 2 more strikes. So Beasley spares the 2-4, and she'll be in the 260s with a decent count. Nice start to the tournament for her. Hamidi with her first double of the game over there on lane 23. She can shoot 218. Sharon Coe misses in on that shot and doesn't strike, but she'll still be in the 2 teens, which I'm sure if you would have offered her in the 6th frame, she would have taken gladly. That's a good spot for that. So 265 for Angelmar Beasley. Right out of the gate here at the PWBA Wichita Open. Stevie Moore's whiffing on the 10 pin. She shoots 158 out of the gate. Brandy Sanderson can do 2-3 better. She can shoot 161 with the strike on the fill ball here. Debbie Ayers still having trouble figuring out that right lane. She went light on her attempt in the 8th and then high on the one in the 10th there. She could have shot 185. Carrie Smith trying to bail out 190, and that's a good finish for her. So one more strike and she'll shoot 191. Ooh, Tanya Rumenper with a good shot there, leaves a stone 9. Hamidi was close on that shot, but didn't quite have enough oomph to get it around the corner, and lucky just to leave the 2-8. So 190 for Carrie Smith, 153 for Debbie Ayers. And they will move on to a new pair, and we'll have another group come in for game number 2. And Hamidi with the open frame, missing on the 2-8, and shoots 184. So a little bit of a disappointing start for her. She bowled a pretty good game, but 7-10 in the second, and then the open in the 10th. Gives her 184 and 206 for Tanya Rumenper. And that's going to do it for game number 1. So players are going to move on to their next pairs. We'll take a short break from commentary, and we'll be back with more coverage here at the PWBA Wichita Open on Bowl TV on Extra Frame. And hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with more commentary here at the 2016 PWBA Wichita Open. And we've got a new group of players in front of us here for game number 2 of qualifying. I'm Jason Thomas, and just trying to figure out what year it is, apparently. But here we are in game number 2, and good group of players here in front of us. Now Sandra Gongora, who you're going to see on the June 7th telecast of the Las Vegas Open. She was the number 2 seed, so be sure to check that out and watch her compete for the title. Great show. She had a bunch of friends and family from Mexico with us on the TV day, and had a great time with them. They came out and showed their support. Tatiana Munoz leaves the 2-pin to start her game number 2, and the legend CDB Carolyn Doran Ballard. We'll see her doing color commentary for the next 2 telecasts. And also doing a tip of the week feature, which was pretty cool to see. So now we will be joined by the illustrious Emil Williams Jr. How are you this morning, sir?
What an introduction.
Illustrious.
It's a good word.
It has a good connotation, does it not?
It does.
So we've got our social media duties taken care of. So if you'd like to send us a message or share anything, go ahead and feel free to do that through our PWBA Facebook page. And you can check out the standings as soon as those are updated on PWBA.com. Got some good players here in front of us here for game number 2, Mr. Williams.
Absolutely. You just talked about all of them, of course, but very good mix of the veterans and the youth, of course. It's really what it's about, kind of fusing the two on this wonderful PWBA tour, the 2016 edition of the tour. I think we will suggest that the 2015 relaunch was successful, and now it continues to grow. We are watching that growth week in and week out.
And one of our Hall of Famers, Anne-Marie Dugan, with a quick double here in game number 2. She did some media for us this morning. She was interviewed by the Wichita Eagle, so her reputation precedes her as one of the legends of the sport. And joined us last week at the Queens for her first event of the season, and here again in Wichita. She's resides in Oklahoma now, so this a little closer to home for her, and has really been working on her diet to get herself in great shape for the tour this season. She was always someone who put a lot of time in at the gym, but she said she's been supplementing that with a little bit of a different diet, and she looks great. Got to keep up with the youngsters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to do that. I also admire Ann's basketball knowledge. Well, that was on display.
Oh, yeah.
Last evening at the VIP reception, of course, from Oklahoma. She resides there now. Oklahoma City Thunder, the professional NBA team in the area, lost a tough series. The Golden State Warriors, and I liked her opinions.
She was not pleased.
No.
Yeah, she was not too happy with she kind of blamed it on Kevin Durant. You know, as a Laker fan, we'll be happy to take him. Happy to take him. Warriors, of course, winning the game last night with the Cavaliers. I didn't actually get to see it. We were attending a VIP reception last night at the Alley, which is another center that's owned by our proprietors here, Frank and Kathy DeSocio. And had a great turnout from the ladies. About 60 of the players in the field showed up for the reception and had a really good time over at the Alley to kick off the event. But it was fun talking about OKC.
It was, but as you mentioned earlier, it's just nice to see her. She's been at a couple of events already this season, and to see her back competing on a stage she is very familiar with. Frame there for Tatiana Munoz and Jen Frank with Sandra Gongora and Carolyn Doran Ballard. 23 and 24. 25 and 26. You're gonna look here at Summer Jasmine entering your screen there.
Sandra Gongora with the front three. We talked a little bit about her appearing on our next PWBA telecast coming up on June 7th on CBS Sports Network. But she's also very familiar with this area, former Wichita State player. And off to a quick start here in game 2 with the front three. The legend. CDB striking the third frame. I can't throw much better than that one.
Nice shot there by Anne Marie. Ring 10 in the fourth frame.
Shot there from Sandra and almost a lower 7-10. Gets the messenger to take the 10 out.
And check out our live coverage, of course, pwba.com/live/live. See the qualifying scores. Round 1, of course, just underway. This is game 2 if you're just joining us. Round 1 scores are being calculated as we speak, and they should be updated momentarily. You'll be able to, of course, access Extra Frame. The link there, all qualifying rounds. The 2 today, tomorrow's Cashers round. Step ladder. match play portion as well.
Another good one there from CDB with her first double of the game. There from Katie Sutphin. Katie had a nice run at the Queens, both very well. Unfortunately, it looks like she got off to a slow start here. 136, the dreaded 136.
Lydia Sanham, our Wichita State Shocker. We'll say that a little bit today. Of course, with the event right here in Wichita. A couple current and several former Shockers are in the field competing.
Yeah, we've already seen a bunch of them too. There's the difference between CDB and Sandra. Sandra gets it back from there, and CDB doesn't have quite the rev rate to be able to miss that much to the right.
She'll take 9, though.
She will. I think she was pretty happy with getting 9 on that one. Tatiana Munoz missed the 10 pin in the 4th and spares the 2 pin there in the 5th. Wow.
Good shot there.
Stone 7. And Ray, the 9 pin was up for a second as well. High flush for Sandra Gongora, and she could very easily have the front at 6. Only miss was a blower 7 in the 4th.
She's had a very good start, of course, to the season. Expect that to continue on. We're out.
Yeah, I mentioned that the PWBA statistics are updated on PWBA.com. She's currently 14th in earnings. And also 14th in points so far through 4 events, with not including the finals that have not yet aired on CBS Sports Network.
Brief peek into the future. Feature pairs. Another solid group here. Linda Barnes, of course, the USBC Hall of Famer. Holly Harris, Rocio Restrepo, and Emily Eckhoff. A good mix of youth and experience. They'll be on 23 and 24. On 25 and 26, we'll have Allie Ijams, Britney Smith, Nicole DePaul Miller, Jackie Carbonetto, and Megan McGinley. From one of the best city names I've ever seen, Cinnaminson, New Jersey.
Cinnaminson. Wow.
Cinnaminson.
In some places, cinnamon is a sin. I don't know if that's true or not.
It does something to me.
I thought it was funny. Yeah.
I just, there's a couple things you can think of right there. Cookies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just the spice itself.
Yeah. I mean, we're supposed to get some cookies today, right? Tiffany Morris.
It's the word on the street.
Gonna hook us up here in her hometown. The best, other than Frank and Kathy DeSocio and how nice North Rock Lanes is. That's probably the best reason for us to come to Wichita is Tiffany Morris's cookies. So Tiffany also bowling in the tournament today. We'll see her later. She's over at on the high end of the bowling center this morning.
Peek down, Christina Wendell with the front 6. First game score is up. We'll check those out again at pwba.com/live. Saw it right here in the featured pair. Of course, Jelimar Beasley leading the way after 1-2-65. Ashley Rucker from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. She is in second, about 2:59. Lee Jane Sin. 2:49. She is currently in third. Well, she had a great one last week at the Queens as well. Shannon Pluhowski in fourth. And she is tied there with Brenda Padilla at plus 48. Some good scores. Opening game of round 1. Course cut line, top 32. To tomorrow's Cashers round. We'll have 12 games today, 6 this morning, and we'll have 6 in the evening. 5 p.m. local time. 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. At the beginning of our second 6-game block. Great shot there from KD Sutphin. So stone 7. Saw that one earlier from Anne-Marie Dugan. So stone 7 there for Gungora. North Rock just was the home, I guess now a couple months ago, a month and a half per se, the intercollegiate singles and team championships.
Wow. Olivia Sandham goes down. Looks like she's okay. It's unfortunately fouled. Still struck though.
That she did. Hopefully she is all right. Players checking her out, making sure she's okay. Great camaraderie, of course, between players.
Just joking around with someone in the background that's here to watch. And definitely okay. Probably a lot of times it's just more embarrassed than anything else when something like that happens.
Got right back up, seemed to just laugh it off. Of course, barring serious injury, that's really the only thing you can do is certainly make sure you're okay and then try to smile.
Probably asking, hey, where'd I hit? What was my ball motion like? I maybe try to do that
She did
without
try.
falling down.
Unfortunately, she was on a spare. So she, of course, will lose the count there. Carry for her. Give her that spare.
Yeah.
That's right. Ball don't lie.
Well, I think that was, hopefully, if you believe in the bowling gods, that was just some poetic justice.
Indeed.
It's hard to get up after a shot like that and make a good shot. Summer Jasmine was on a 4-bagger prior to that, but breaks up the bucket for just a 5-8. Boy, Katie Sutphin is really, really struggling. It stands to reason, though. You remember last year, Stephanie Johnson dominated with kind of that high, straight shot, and even though it's a little bit of a different pattern, I think this house tends to favor players that like to play a little harder and a little straighter. Katie obviously not a player that's her A game. She's more of a likes to hook the ball and slower ball speed and a little bit lower track. So really struggling out of the gate to figure out what to do.
A good shot in the 9th frame. She may have even made a move right as well. We'll look forward to her 10th frame. Shot there from Anne-Marie. Lone open in the 7th frame. Also throw in a wrap 10 and a stone 7. Be looking at 250 or better at this point. Christina Wendell, the front 8 on lane 30.
As a matter of fact, sir, I'm going to excuse myself to go, hopefully not jinx her, but capture the moment if possible.
Sounds good.
I'll be back.
Another good shot there from CDB. She'll leave a 9-pin, however. Sanham with the Greek Church. She'll take the count. She'll look for a double in the 10th frame coming up. Try to save this one a little bit. High scores, or potentials, we should say. Just like that, one is averted. Just off to your left there, you see Karen Marcano leaves a 7-10. He was on 4 in a row going into the 10th frame. Good shot there from Katie Sutphin. JT mentioned where she likes to play, but in the 9th frame, she made a move right. Perhaps she was listening to JT. She certainly got enough rev rate to be able to get the ball back from that part of the lane on this condition. Good shot there from Anne-Marie Dugan. Katie can put another one up here in the 10th frame. Give her a 3-bagger and put her in the 170s. And game 1 scores up, pwba.com/live. That one's got to hurry. It was right off her hand there. She'll need to wash out 1-2-10. Gora finishes out 225 for Sandra. Leanne Holsenberg off to our left. She's got 7 in a row after it opens in the 3rd and 4th frames. On her fill shot and the 10th. Started with 227. I beg your pardon, 211 in game 1. Very nice 236. So she's off to a great start here this morning. Sutphin finishes with 163. Doran Ballard, first one in the 10th.
Wasn't my fault.
String ended in the 9th for Christina. Still a chance to make game 2 a great one. Seen some strings in the back half of games. around us. 10 back for CDB. Bucket left there on the fill shot from CDB. She'll shoot 214.
Yeah, she got to look at a different piece of equipment, and it doesn't quite look like they're hooking enough for that ball just yet. Summer Jasmine flags on the 3-pin, but shoots 236, so good score for Summer. And that makes her 40 over for the first two. And this group will move along, and we'll get another set in game 3. And I'm going to have to go take care of some other business, Mr. Williams. So I'll be seeing you in a little bit.
Indeed. We'll make a few adjustments here as well. We'll be back with you momentarily, folks. You're watching the 2016 PWBA Wichita Open on Extra Frame. All right, folks, welcome back. 2016 PWBA Wichita Open. Milt Williams Jr. here with you. I gave you a sneak preview earlier of who was on our featured pairs here in game number 3. Linda Barnes, Hall of Famer. Former Wichita State Shockers, Holly Harris and Rocio Restrepo. And there is Linda there on the right lane. Also, two-time intercollegiate singles champion, Emily Eckhoff, on the pair as well. We are awaiting 25 and 26. They will be here momentarily. They have 5 on a pair. There are a couple lanes, or excuse me, a couple pairs with 5 bowlers here today. And so momentarily, we will have Jackie Carbonetto, Megan McGinley, Allie Ijams, Britney Smith, and Nicole DePaul Miller. Linda so far, 9 spare, 9 spare. Well, Holly with a tough spare, she makes it. Certainly not the easiest one with a 3-9 for the right-hander. Or for a right-hander, I should say. strike there from Harrison, the third. You saw Restrepo on a double. Now 25 and 26 now already. There is Allie Ijams, a former Shocker as well. Allie starts with a split here. 4-10. Again, mentioned Allie, a former Shocker. Also an English teacher and bowling coach. Derby High School in Derby, Kansas. Of course, not too far from where we are currently. There's Jackie Carbonetto. Allie, one of the players, of course, talking with the media and making a run at the split early on. Yesterday, Jason Thomas mentioned some of the media outlets that came out yesterday, talking to some current and former Shockers. Good spare conversion from Carbonetto. Here is Restrepo, having a great start to the season as well. Playing a little bit inside. Now she's got 3 in a row. Hall of Famer Linda Barnes. They kick on the 10 for the Linda Barnes. How about that? It's a Hall of Famer touch there. She's got a double in the third and fourth. Inside for Holly. Holly's still involved with the Wichita State Shocker bowling program as well. Working, leaving the Shocker bowling offices, handling business there. Was told a couple months back, well, not a couple, maybe a month and a half, we're in the intercollegiate singles and team championships. It was Holly who coordinated and organized the first ever Shocker reunion. She will make the spare. Get a good look at Britney Smith. Britney takes care of the 8-pin. Collegiate standout at Grandview. This year's International Bowling Media Association and the National Collegiate Bowling Coaches Association Bowler of the Year and Most Valuable Player respectively. Of course, a first-team All-American. A couple early opens for Ijams in frames 1 and 2. First shot now for Nicole DePaul Miller. Nicole from Baytown, Texas. That one's got to hurry. It does. And it makes the move. Carbonetto. She will start things in the second frame, of course. 5 on the pair for 25 and 26. One of a couple that will have 5 throughout the day. Well, rolling along, of course, on 23 and 24. Here is Emily Eckhoff, again the 2-time ISC Women's Champion. She will look to go for a three-peat next season at Hastings College. First person ever, men or women, in that event to repeat as champion. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for. Live from the PWBA Wichita Open for the first time, USBC Director of Communications, Terry Big.
Hello, Emil. How you doing this morning?
And that's what he comes out with.
Yes,
build it up like that.
What do you want? What do you want from me? It's been a busy morning out here already.
Yes, it has. So thank Terry, of course, being out this weekend. There are always tons of things to do. Terry able to make our jobs a little easier, whether he is on site or back at headquarters.
I just came over here because I saw what a great pair you have out here right now. It's like a champions grouping right here. You know, you got a couple of collegiate champions, and the greatness of Linda Barnes. So hey,
absolutely. Strepo stops her run in the 5th frame. 7-pin.
USBC jinx, right?
It tends to happen more times than not with us as far as jinxes are concerned.
Rocio very familiar with the center, obviously.
Indeed she is, as is Holly.
We had a fun conversation with her yesterday. She came out, helped out the PWBA, talked to media. Actually was featured last night on the news, local news here.
She was. Got a chance to check it out on KAKE.
And yeah, they did a really good job. Her and Allie Jams and
Sydney Brummett.
Sydney Brummett was out here, yes, and they all got some airtime and got a chance to show off their skills. It's always fun when you get the TV guys out here to get some film.
Absolutely.
They're all so impressed with the skill of these ladies.
Is in the building as well. Nice strike there from Allie, rebounding from the early opens. Good shot from Holly Harris. Of course, Wichita, a very great bowling community. Not just one bowling program in the city. Newman University, the Jets, also call Wichita home. We've got a couple current and former players in the field as well. Casey Lander saw her earlier. He's a current Newman Jet. It's almost an endless list of the past Wichita State Shockers who are in the field, but it's great to see, A, from a USBC collegiate standpoint, and now B, with the, of course, PWBA Tour back in business. All of those players have a chance to go out, compete, and essentially be where they belong.
And continue to show the talent. I mean, these young players coming out of college. You talk to some of the veterans, and they know they got their hands full, and it's it really is impressive to see this group. I think once they become out, being out on tour, it's a learning experience. Traveling, different places, learning how to make sure to take care of yourself, eat right, get the right amount of rest, and practice. It can be a grind, but I think all of them are the younger ones. Sometimes you might have to go through a year or two to figure it out, but they're all doing a good job of taking care of business, doing what they need to do. So it's creating a very strong. The fields out here are very strong, very competitive.
No doubt, week in and week out. For me personally, I have been to 4 of the now 5 stops, including the Queens. So you start to see, of course, all of the players. Many here, of course, every week. Start to see them. Conversations go from short introductions early on to now chatting it up, seeing how everyone's doing. How was your trip in? How'd you get here? Some folks like to drive, or some like to fly as well. So the many ways of travel as players, and then for us media folks, of course, not under the same grind as these players, however. But I have learned, and I'm continuing to learn as well, certain things that you knock out, packing.
Yes, that can be. When are you going to do the laundry? That's always a big question. Am I going to have time? But yeah, that's part of the backstory that people don't see behind the scenes, but which is a part of bringing all this to people on Extra Frame, because of great supporters we have like Extra Frame, Smithfield, all our sponsors. It really helps to. That's why these women are out here and competing week to week. Sometimes you don't like to see how the sausage is made, but hey, it's always tasty, right?
Well said.
Yes.
Well said, Terry. Shot there from Carbonetto. 23 and 24 at the start early. They are into the 8th frame now. Here is Holly Harris looking for 4 in a row. High on the head pin, and she will leave at 6-10. Good to see Holly's brother Joey in the building. Joey, a former collegiate bowler as well, to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, which is where we will be next week. PWBA Tour rolls on to Lincoln, Nebraska. Sun Valley Lanes. This is essentially the Midwest suite, if you will. Wichita, Lincoln, Nebraska, in Detroit, officially Canton, Michigan, and then Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Players Championship. Next week, the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open.
I think Linda would be very happy if she could figure out the straight lane.
She had some early help. She threw a good shot and got the late tap on the 10 pin. That was in the 4th frame. See a shot there from Nicole Paul Miller. A couple of 8-1s. Hall of Famer Wanda Barnes and Holly Harris, now both with 166 in the 8th frame. Linda plus 38 after 2 games. Update on game 2 or after game 2 should be up shortly. Be sure to check that out on pwba.com/live. And Terry Bigham hooked it up for us this morning. Thank you, Terry.
Yes, I did get a little help from Matthew Cannizzaro. He directed me the right way. So he's out in Reno, but he's always there to help out.
Always a team effort. Amongst ourselves, it's a pleasure to be involved. Pleasure to work with these fine individuals, as well as Aaron Smith. What a great shot that was.
That was tremendous.
Rocio, a two-time collegiate champion with Wichita State. Longtime member of Team Columbia, now living in Louisville, Ohio. But she has made every match play cut, excuse me, -1 this season. She's going to get some help for Holly. She will lead the split there. Didn't like it, out of her hand. Oh, tough 9-pin for Britney Smith.
Yes.
First team All-American. Linda will take that.
She will.
Hard to imagine Chris is watching.
Yeah, I was wondering when they're going to show up. Kids should be getting out of school pretty soon.
Well,
Not this week.
one of them is here.
Oh, did not see him there. It's always good to have some family out
It is.
supporting.
Seen Chris at a couple stops. Saw him at the Queens last week. 9th frame for Restrepo. Rocio, max score 279. 35 over after 2.
It's always fun when they know they're on live stream. They turn around and give you a big grin after that.
Throughout the weeks, we've seen some folks recognize, of course, that they are on the featured pairs. Send a few notes home. Say hello to who may be watching. So on behalf of our featured pairs here in Game 3, we'd like to say hello to all who may be watching these great competitors. Thank you to all of our viewers. Terry Bigham, Jason Thomas. My name is Emil Williams Jr. We are pleased to be here with you at the 2016 PWBA Wichita Open. High James gets the strike. The 10-pin goes in the 6th frame for Allie. There's Linda. Good shot. A double there in the 10th frame. Check out, of course, on PWBA.com, our live page for today's qualifying results. It could be linked to Extra Frame. As the tournament rolls on, you'll have cashier's round results, match play, and the group step ladder as well. That one's got to hurry for Linda. She will leave the 7-pin. Got that one out, going right just a hair. Also on the website, check out tournaments, and you'll find stats as Jason Thomas mentioned earlier. By the latest stats on tour. Cassius points, earnings, and average as well.
Holly wraps up with a 192 at 8th and 9th frame. Really hurt her. She had a really nice game going. And splits will do that to you.
Had some tough breaks.
Yeah, I think Linda showed you she's 215, but she also had a very makeable spare in the 8th that she missed. It could have made that a little bit bigger of a number. Of course, we don't have to tell her. She knows so much more about bowling than either one of us.
That is correct.
Let's see here what Rocio can finish strong.
Some help late for Rocio. She gave us an education yesterday on how to properly pronounce her name. And it's generally, not that we say it wrong. We generally don't, but it is not Rocio. Rocio. It even has two different meanings as well.
Yes, that was a very good lesson. You know, when you have different cultures out here, it makes for a great way to learn about the rest of the world.
Absolutely. We can learn about the 11th shot here. It's a good one.
I wish I could learn to throw a ball like
We learned that.
That was very nice.
Rocio throws it very well.
She does.
She's looking for 279. Lone miss. I believe it was a 10 pin in the 5th frame. She'll have the back 7 if she can provide one on the field shot. I can certainly sympathize with Rocio as far as the pronunciation of names are concerned. Mine tends to have a few pronunciations from individuals. 278
Very nice game.
for Restrepo. Very nice. It'll add to her total. I'm sure she will find herself near the top of the standings. Speaking of standings, update after 2. We turn our attentions now to 25 and 26. Lee Jane Sin off to a great start. 5-10 after 2, 110 over, 249, 261 for the Team Malaysia member. Saw her at the USBC Queens. Made a heck of a run just to get to the TV portion. The elimination group bracket there. Shot 266 to earn her spot. She was the 4th seed on the show, but she was defeated early by the 5th seed, Birgit Poplar from Germany. And nice double there as the 2 goes late. Took its time, but Allie will take it. In second, Cassandra Lutho, former Husker as well from Nebraska, plus 78. Brianna Cote, plus 74. Another former collegiate standout at the University of Central Missouri, Kelly Kulick. PWBA spokesperson, of course, future Hall of Famer. She is in 4th at plus 66. Shannon Pluhowski in 5th at plus 65. In fact, she is tied for 5th with Angelimar Beasley. Had a great first game at 265 with even in game 2. She remains at plus 65. Christina Wendell, 257 in game 2. She is now at plus 58. Liz Johnson in 8th at plus 55. Katie Garcia, the native, former shocker as well, at plus 51. And Tanya Rauman from Indonesia, another former shocker, at plus 50. Again, the cut line will be 32, of course. The top 32 will move on after 12 games of qualifying into tomorrow's Cashers round. Of course, after the Cashers round, match play will begin. They will take the top 12 and will be split up into two separate groups, Groups A and Group B, which has really made the format, of course, interesting. The bowling itself and things leading up and to those group step ladders very interesting as well. So it's been good, in my opinion.
Yes, you're going to see 2 group step ladders out here. It's very fascinating. Really enjoy the format. It's because it keeps a lot of the field involved. It's, you know, it will go down to that last game before you will know who can be in there. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that as many people as possible have a shot to get to there, and I think that this really the format really does that.
If you are just joining us, we are seeing action from lanes 25 and 26. One of the few pairs with 5 players. This is Allie I. Jam's Britney Smith on the pair, along with Nicole DePaul Miller. She is up on the left lane. Jackie Carbonetto and Megan McGinley on 23 and 24. We just saw a great cross there. Linda Barnes shot 215. Rocio Restrepo 278.
Puts her at plus 113.
Plus 113 after 3 games.
Should be seeing her up there in the top 10 after this.
E. Sin. She's to our left. 246. She is 156 over after 3 games. So she more than likely will still be the leader. Holly Harris shot 192. And Emily Eckhoff at 195. She is plus 4 after 3. There's Carbonetto. That one a little wide. She will leave the split there.
Looks like Shannon Plahowski shot a 204 over there. She's plus 69.
Mentioned current Newman Jets, Newman University, also here in Wichita.
Jackie Carbonetto. Looked like she had a shot at that spare, just missed.
Peek into the future. Coming up next, Casey Landers, Jennifer Higgins, Lindsay Boomershine, and Rochelle Hansen on 23 and 24 for game number 4. Someone's got a push for Megan. As high as she will leave the 4-7. Been a great start to the 2016 season. Mentioned your points leader so far is Danielle McCune. Of course, you saw her last week on the live TV finals.
And you also saw her last week if you were watching the live stream, or at least got to talk to her at the USBC Women's Championships in Las Vegas. She bowled out there on Saturday. Took the lead, only to watch 3 others, including her Team USA teammate Liz Johnson, come in and pass her by. But Danielle was nice enough after she competed Saturday morning to stop by the booth and chat a little bit with Aaron Smith, which is always nice to hear from Danielle, who has been on a tremendous roll pretty much since winning the PWBA Tour championship last year. I don't know what that unlocked, but she was just seemed like she couldn't lose after that for the next few months.
Danielle certainly one of the best out here on tour now. Also a Team USA member, of course. Queens Week is always fun at the Women's Championships because you see quite often lead changes in the same squad as you just referenced. That tends to make Aaron Smith a busy man. But he's the man. So Aaron's certainly doing a wonderful job as always at the Women's Championships. Saw many of these competitors as well last week compete. Also competed in the mixed as well. Another great event at the South Point Bowling Plaza. Be sure to check those events out, folks, if you haven't. bowl.com/women's champ. bowl.com/mixed to learn more about those two events. Of course, the Open Championships as well, currently in Reno. bowl.com/open champ. 25 and 26. Momentarily set to head into the 10th frame. Cole DePaul Miller, 245 from Baytown, Texas. We certainly hope things are well in the state that we now reside, of course. Terry has lived in Arlington for, I believe, all of his life. Is that correct, sir?
That is not correct.
That is not correct. No, you're right.
I was an Air Force grad, so we got to move around all over the place.
We'll say that
we just happened to settle in Arlington. Well, I did eventually.
A good portion
it's good
of Terry's life. He showed us a few things.
As we know, they've been getting a lot of rain down in Texas lately. I'm sure anybody who tunes into the Weather Channel or national news has seen that.
Absolutely, which is certainly that very point. So hopefully those residing in areas that have been hit hard by rain, we certainly hope you are well and okay. Names are up on 23 and 24. And Casey Landers kicked things off. Casey originally from Southern California, of course now a student at Newman University. Lindsay Boomershine starts well. Jennifer Higgins certainly in the running for PWBA Rookie of the Year. This is her first official season as a member.
She pulled a few events last year, did really well, and obviously she's made a couple of Queens telecasts in her career.
Absolutely. And Rochelle Hansen from La Vista, Nebraska. If I had to bet, we'll probably see Rochelle next week at the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open in Nebraska. 10th frame for Carbonetto. Again with a strike. 3-6-10. Eye jams on a field shot. Strike will give her 184. And a little wide there. Shakes her head. 181. Had to talk with Allie a little bit yesterday. Bright future ahead, of course. Teacher and coach. English teacher at Derby High School. And Derby, Kansas, not too far away.
Said she could walk from the center home, so.
Carbonetto with the spare. She shoots 192.
Yeah, single pin miss in the ninth, so I'm sure that she's also
Smith. First shot is a 10-pin. Seven left for Megan McGinley. On the left side there of your screen, you see Anita Arnett, former Player of the Year at Wichita State, national champion. Not a fun lead there for Casey. Here's the 4, 6, 9, 10. 7 dropped out, of course, would have been a Greek church. Final frame for 25 and 26, it would belong to Nicole DePaul Miller. Shot there from Boomer Shot. He had a good run as well at the Queens last week. Of course, players on 23 and 24 are in game number 4 if you're just joining us. 25-26, just wrapping up game 3. We'll have 6 games this morning. Of course, of now the afternoon. We began things at 10:30 a.m. local time, 10:30 a.m. Central, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Second 6-game block will begin at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Of course, Bowl TV on Extra Frame. Great partnership with the Professional Bowlers Association. Paul Miller finishes strong on their strike on the final shot. Which is 157. Particular cross of players struggling early here to find things. Still plenty of games left to make a move into the top 32. That is the number, of course, for standard events. PWBA Tour. 12 games qualifying, top 32 advance to the Cashers round.
Key word there in that phrase, Cashers round.
That is correct.
That's where you want to be, right? Like they're ready to go now for game 4 on 25 and 26. I think Deandra just started on the wrong lane.
He'll reverse the arrows.
The old reverse arrows. I was going to yell out at her, but I don't think that was been a good thing to do from back where we are.
Looks like Cadell Ballard Jr. got the attention.
Yes. Dell was standing back here and it's like, nice shot, wrong lane. Jennifer Higgins picks up 10 pin, keeps it clean.
CT Rockman from Team Malaysia with Deandra Asbeatty, Jody Wessner, and Kimmy Davidson on 25 and 26. Team Malaysia and their tour swing, if you will, last week at the USBC Queens. They will be out for several events. At Team Singapore for the West Coast swing.
He had the first three. That was that could have been a little bit worse than it ended up, leaving the 210.
Best part about that, if there's a silver lining, that is a makeable split, certainly.
Very
No
close
guarantee.
to being the 2-8. I wonder if that shook up Deandra a little, striking on the right lane. Realizing she was, comes back over to where she's supposed to be, and big four right through there.
Pocket
And
7-10 there. CT. Mentioned Team Singapore. Talented players. We've seen several make their presence felt. Of course, Jazriel Tan, perhaps the most well-known Team Singapore member prior to the team all coming out for the PWBA Tour. And now, of course, viewers and players alike well aware of everybody from Team Singapore, including Bernice Lim.
that was a fun group. That really was to see them come out. Obviously, all supporting each other, doing well. They were fun to talk to.
Indeed. Jazriel, of course, former shocker at Wichita State. Bernice Lim won the USBC Queens. Of course, I know you all watched it live on CBS Sports Network last Thursday. New Wei Finn, probably the early leader, the Rookie of the Year category, if you will. They may be back, I believe, for one or two particular events. So Daphne Tan, Sherry Tan. Just the list goes on and on. So really appreciate them. And then of course, I saw them actually when I was heading back from Las Vegas after the Queens. Was out on Friday morning at the airport. Wish them a good luck, or good luck I should say. That is a very long trip. Of course, I think it's a full day
It is a long trip.
travel. We wish them well. I hope to see them again soon. Essentially now Team Malaysia began their start at the Queens as well, and now we'll have them for several events. We've already seen some great bowling from them in the Queens. I mentioned Lee Jane Sin made the telecast as well. She's your current leader here at the Wichita Open after 3 games.
If the Queens did show us anything, it was how bowling is a world sport now. 5 different nations represented at Queens, which was really interesting. It's nice to see that kind of, trying to think of the right word there. It was just such a fascinating thing to see.
I thought it was an eye-opening experience from me personally, from someone who hasn't seen an international competition live before. Certainly watched them online, right, on Bowl TV. But when you see it live and in person, it's a little different. And you have that appreciation steps up or goes up a notch, if you will. 21 countries last week at the Queens represented, including the United States. Almost half of the match play field are international players.
When you look at that being the largest Queens field we've seen in probably almost a decade, it's awesome.
256 players, all vying for the coveted tiara, taken home by Bernice Lim of Singapore. If you're familiar with that, be sure to check the recap story. Still up on bowl.com and PWBA.com as well. Cool moment in that story, or portion of that win for Bernice. The use of the Rubik's Cube. Helps keep her mind off of bowling during competition. And I tell you what, she solved it several times in what seemed like seconds.
Indeed.
Hanson here in the 6th frame. She will leave the 6-10. Oh!
Looked for a second there. That was going to be a nice shot that turned out unlucky. But
We've seen a couple shots like that. Generally, on tour now, of course, when we begin things, you start to see, you get through a couple games and you notice certain hits and how that may just be certain characteristics of a particular center. And so we've seen a couple stone 9s, but messengers come flying over to kick them. Last week, it seemed like the pocket 7-10 and the 8-pin were the run stoppers, if you will, at the Queens. This week it could be stone 9s. A shot there from Landers in the 7th frame.
yeah, she immediately knew that's not where she wanted to throw it.
That one was right. Nasmady giving it a run. Deandra has a young helper as well with her this week. Her son Madden made the trip out to Wichita with her.
Yes, he's at that age. It's always very entertaining. Which Deandra shared with us. It was very entertaining.
Follow Deandra on social media. You'll see very cool clips of the family mad and becoming the athlete. See him playing some baseball, golf.
I'm sure he'll be. I'm sure he bowls also.
Yeah, and if you were a betting man, you'd say probably. His parents, of course, Deandra and John Bass Beatty. Home collegiate standout in his own right as well. More than likely they'll get the bug at some point. Shot there from Jen Higgins.
You would think that the parent who's so actively involved in the sport. Here, Andrew gets the strike over there on 26. Not a good
Off to a
start for
good
her.
start there. Hopefully that will get her going. JC with a big shot in the 8th frame. Go out for 199. She was +6 after 3. Bobbin on a double. Tripped that 2-pin. She'll take it. Nice 3-bagger. Out to Lindsay Boomershine. Up to 210 in the 4th frame. That is her only open. 8th frame shot. It's a little right. It made the turn. It got up the hill.
Jennifer on a nice run, 6 in a row. Sorry, 5 in a row for Jennifer. Michelle Hansen there on lane 24. Gets them all to fall. Lindsay Boomershine on the left lane there, stepping up, seeking 5 in a row here. She's in the 9th frame. See a couple of big games on this pair.
It is game 4. So you expect certainly after constant transition, one player started. It's a great shot there from Landers. Big double in the 9th frame for her. Almost got a hook for D. She will leave a 2-pin. Mia Arnett off to our left. She's got 260 working. Slow start for Anita, 581 after 3. 260 certainly would help that cause. And some tallies after 3 games. E. Jane Sin of Malaysia still on top. 249, 261, 246. She is plus 156 and still rolling. Just shot 244 in game number 4 to our right. Of course, you saw her on the Queens, folks, and essentially letting you know that you will see her once more and again. Dillamar Beasley She flirted with 300 in game number 2. Excuse me, in game 1, I beg your pardon. Had the front 8. We're shooting 265. Shot 289 in game 3. She is in second at plus 154. Kelly Kulick doing what she does. 219, 247, 247. Tie for third with Rocio Restrepo at plus 113. Of course, Restrepo on the strength of a 278 game 3. Samantha Shaden having a good start as well from Baltimore, Maryland. 218, 212, 247. Plus 77 for her. Liz Johnson plus 74 in 6th. 2015 PWBA Player of the Year. Brianna Cote at plus 69, tied for 7th with Shannon Puchowski. Tanya Raumenberg, he is tied for 9th at plus 63 with Christina Wendell and Cassandra Loophole. Right now, your cut score would be plus 35. Of course, still plenty of games left. But folks, don't forget, standings can be found at pwba.com/live. Boomershine run ends in the 10th. First shot. Makes the 7th spare, of course. Or the 7th pin, I beg your pardon. Or 9 spare. Strike will give her 245. Jen Higgins looking to continue the run. Oh. So far, we've seen some nasty 9 pins and some terrible stone 7s.
And that was definitely one.
They stopped the Higgins run at 6. He's off to a little slow start as well. 569 after 3. Now back in business here in game number 4. Strike will give her 249. Davidson, southpaw. Game 4 coming to a close. We're on 23 and 24. Of course, when you're behind the scenes, the games seem to tend to go by relatively quickly. Of course, when you're on the approach in the settee area as the bowler, really not the same. Kind of cruising along here at the PWBA Wichita Open. Boomershine did strike. She shoots 245. 247 for Jen Higgins. You will see Jen on national TV. Of course, the USBC Queens. The first telecast certainly was live, of course, for the 2016 PWBA season. 13 telecasts, PWBA Tour, all on CBS Sports Network.
1 down, 12 to go.
Indeed, next week we'll have the PWBA Las Vegas Open.
And of course, you want to see some bowling on Saturday. ITC Men. That show is airing
Indeed.
tomorrow.
Noon Eastern.
You know that's an exciting.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Williams.
More ways than
he doesn't
one.
like to brag. He's been involved in something like that. He knows what it's like. It's very exciting to watch. Probably even more exciting. Exciting might not be the right word as it's going on, but I'm sure looking back after it was over, it was exciting.
Indeed.
So CBS Sports Network tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Definitely say check that out, folks. It will not disappoint for sure. Set your DVRs if you will not be at home. You've got the kids, you've got to run them around to soccer, Little League. Or if you're just going to enjoy your Saturday, won't be at home. If you will be at home, certainly watch it. But set those DVRs if you won't be. Action complete on 23 and 24. Rochelle Hansen finishes with 195. It's an open in the 10th for Casey Landers. She shot 165. She is now 29 under after 4 games. And 25 and 26. And still a talented group. There's one thing you immediately notice. It was evident certainly last year, the relaunch of the tour. But this year, certainly with the infusion of international players, any field, you can go down at any pair across the center and see 4 or 5 very, very good players who could easily win the tournament. There's no difference here.
And there's a couple right here.
Absolutely.
Oh. Actually, yeah. These two pairs that we were just watching. Obviously, we've seen Deandra win a major before. And, that's a tough shot. Trying to get on a run here, and you see that 9-pin just refusing to go.
Shot there from Rockman. CT now in a 3-bagger.
Yeah, started with that 7-10 to a 4-bagger. And then left the 2-8-10. Followed it up with 3 in a row. It's a tough way to get up there, isn't it?
This is game 4 on lanes 25 and 26. And the old PBA washout there from Jody Wessner. Jody had plenty of success at the women's championships.
Rahman steps up here in the 10th, looking to make it 4 in a row.
And we'll we like to sometimes call the flat dime. That was 10 back right there from Deandra Asbeatty. Deandra, of course, familiar theme, collegiate standout. She will be going to familiar grounds next week. Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open in Nebraska, and we're open frame in the 10th for Rockman there, 2-11. She will finish with. Be looking for a double in the 10th. She will also leave the week 10 there as well. Spirit will give her 174. Deandra, of course, a major champion.
Watched her win the Queens a couple years ago. Finals held at the International Training and Research Center on the International Bowling Campus.
Back in 2012. She'll finish with 174. Davidson.
So you're telling me I was more than a couple of years ago?
No, not really. Technically. By the definition of that word.
Yeah, that was a very emotional win for her.
Shot there from Jody. Frame there in the 10th, this time from Kimmy Davidson. Single pin misses there from Rockman and Davidson now. Wessner looking for a double in the 10th to get her in the 2-0s. Gain some pins back. Great shot. Women's championship success. Plenty of PBA success as well for Jody. 2008, they took home the Women's Series Shark Championship. So won the PBA Central Region Storm Products Beachmont Toyota Open in 2008 as well. He has got a ton of state, local, other event titles as well. Member of 4 Hall of Fames. People know her in Ohio. Tried out a different ball there on the fill shot. 206. Wessner. So a momentary break in the action, folks. We'll take a quick break ourselves. Be back momentarily. The 2016 PWBA Wichita Open from Bowl TV on Extra Frame. just a brief break. We are now in game number 5. The Wichita Open, the 2016 edition here of the Professional Women's Bowling Association Tour. Alicia Current, PWBA champion, won the opening standard event last year at the Storm Sacramento Open. She is joined by Clara Guerrero, another longtime member of Team Columbia as well. We're living in Pflugerville, Texas. Mariana Ayala. She's representative of Team Puerto Rico. She now lives in Euless, Texas. Jamie Martin from Omaha, Nebraska. On 23 and 24, 3 former Shockers, Ayala, Current, and Guerrero. On the pair, your defending champion stepping up, Stephanie Johnson. First shot from Stephanie. Playing a familiar line, a familiar area. And the outside portion of the lane saw her do that and have success last week at the USBC Queens. She had a very tough road and a very interesting one. Had some matches come down to roll-offs. She had to double in the 10th frame several times to win matches. Came down to the elimination 4-player group final there, where essentially there are 3 spots for 4 bowlers to determine the final 3 seeds for the Queen's Show. And Steph, unfortunately, finished 4th in that group. She finished 6th overall, just missing, of course, the TV step ladder. Nonetheless, a very good run for Stephanie. She is joined by Felicia Wong, another former Shocker, Angelica Green, and Natasha Roslin. Natasha representing Team Malaysia. Along with Jason Thomas, Terry Bigham. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Pleased to be here with you. We appreciate you tuning in. The Wichita Open. If you are watching and you may be local or happen to be, really come on out, folks. Watch the best bowlers in the world compete. Certainly we appreciate you. If you are not in the immediate area, we thank you as an Extra Frame subscriber. This building has certainly hosted many professional events throughout its history. If you've never been to North Rock, you get an opportunity. If a tournament brings you here for whatever reason, certainly check it out. You see some of the history on the walls here of the many professionals, men and women, who have competed. See on your screen just underneath the scoreboards there, there's a banner, of course, advertising the tournament itself, the schedule of the event, and Stephanie Johnson, her picture. She is, of course, the defending champion. North Rock proprietors, Frank and Kathy DeSocio, Brent Bowers, running things. Brent took care of us when we were here, of course, for the intercollegiate team and singles championships. His hospitality continues to be unmatched. We appreciate Brent and the entire staff, tournament staff and crew here at North Rock Lanes. Everyone certainly so nice and hospitable. Again, this is game 5 of 6. We should have scores for you momentarily on the update. It's a good shot there from Jamie Martin. Does leave the 10 pin. That looked like a good shot there from Felicia. It crept high. And at the end of the pattern there, well, finds herself with a split. Seen a few high scores, some of them on our featured pair. Angela Beasley at 265 on 25 and 26 in game number 1. Game 3, Rocio Restrepo 278 on 23 and 24. Seen a few scores throughout the house as well. Amanda Green off to a good start. She's got the front 5. Of course, Amanda, PWBA champion as well, won the Lincoln Open last season. So if she is in the field next week, she will attempt to defend her title. Of course, a brief peek into the future for game 6. We have Angie Ramirez-Perea, Ashley Rucker, Holly Ann Johansson, current Wichita State Shocker, and Gabriella Mayfield. It'll be on 23 and 24, 25 and 26. We'll have April Ellis. Good to see April. Out competing, Brandy Calderon, Cassandra Luthold, and Shazwani Sahar from Team Malaysia. Again, that is coming up game 6. So if you're looking for someone in particular, of course, I'll take a look at our lane schedule on pwba.com/live. It is certainly great to be here, to be a part of this PWBA tour. An opportunity again to see the players week to week. Gonna watch them as they prepare themselves, essentially. Some of the preparation that you may not see on display during competition. As you watch the players week to week, you can certainly see some differences. Differences in a good way, improvements for many as well. Well, that's one of the cool parts about it. See players get off to a great start. They look to maintain that success throughout the season. You see players get off to sometimes relatively slow starts, and then work their way, of course, throughout the season. Tweaks, adjustments, ball motion, rolls, surfaces, whatever it may be. In physical games, of course, the adjustments made there as well. Nice help there on the 7-10. Ayala will take that. She's had some success on the right lane so far in this game through 5. Left lane has been the troublesome. One out of the 2. See Angelica Green. We've seen her a couple times throughout the season as well. Continuing to learn, improve, and learn from the best players in the world. That's the only way to really you can do it. If you're a young player, it's kind of like looking for that internship, if you will. What better way to do that, to learn the craft from the best in the world? You got to shoe up, you got to compete, see what you need to work on, where you stand. One day you may break out. That's the process for many of the young players on tour. Of course, there are many veterans who know the process already, but doesn't mean that they don't have to improve, because the talent in the field week in and week out forces you to improve. Good shot there from Green on the 1-2-4-10. Head pin just didn't clip the 10. First open for Angelica. Split there from Alicia Current. See Stephanie Johnson with the spare. Steph was on a good run dating back to last season. Through the first couple of events of the year, she had made match play in every event thus far on tour. -1. So far, again, this season, she has made 3 out of 4 match play appearances. Very rare to see her not make match play, of course, which makes her so good, very consistent. To learn more about Stephanie on PWBA.com. Coming into the event, of course, as the defending champion. What that meant, what it means to have a tour title, especially after graduating college essentially in 2006, I believe, and not having a tour to go to. Just to have the opportunity to compete is one she does not take for granted. Also mentioned, of course, husband Chris and their son Levi.
Rookie of the Year household right there.
Indeed. Of course, Chris Johnson, if you're unfamiliar, former PBA Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, she's talked several times about the only reason she could be able to do that is because of the great support she receives from Chris, who understands, what it takes to succeed out here. And back-to-back spares here for Stephanie. Jamie Martin on the left lane, far left lane, trying to go 4 in a row. She gets a 10 default. Stephanie Johnson strikes her to 6. Alicia Current there on the left lane. Very nice strike there to double after her open frame in the 5th. Clara looking for her 4th in a row here in the 7th. Clara might be well known in this area.
Good run by Kelly Kulik down on lane 14. And the front 7. It's become a weekly occurrence for Kelly. Does have a 297 so far this season. There's 5-bagger here from Jamie Martin. And Jamie from Omaha, Nebraska. Clean game. Spare, spare, spare. Now back 5. Here is Clara. Nice shot from Clara Guerrero.
St. Clara, she's well known around this area, obviously. Won a national title in 2005 with Wichita State. First team All-American.
Absolutely, very stout, of course. She has been a longtime member, in fact, 18-year member of Team Columbia. Back-to-back Ubica AMF Bowling World Cup champion as well, 2014 and 2015. Not to mention, of course, the many medals she has won in international competition. Also has made a PBA telecast as well. Folks may not remember that. The 2013 PBA Cheetah Championship finished 4th.
Sometimes you just don't realize how young she still is. It's kind of like watching LeBron play basketball. It seems like you've watched him forever, and he's really not that old yet. Well, basketball years maybe, but Clara has been such a, it's been a force in bowling for seems like forever, and she's got many, many more years ahead of her to continue.
Absolutely. There's many of these players, of course, looking for that breakthrough year on tour. Barring, of course, our second season following the relaunch, but
and Stephanie Johnson steps up on lane 25 to double.
Folks, everybody wants to be that just a consistent competitor and always be in match play and always have or put yourself in contention, put themselves in contention to win a title. Maybe this is Claire's week. 7-pin stops a run there in the 9th frame. Shot there again from Roslyn in the 7th frame. And this is game number 5. Update after 4 games as Ayala, who's had some good carry on this pair. She gets the first one to go. Still on top of the standings, Lee Jane Sin. She is plus 200 for 4 games. And Jelimar Beasley, the lefty, plus 199, I beg your pardon, just 1 pin back. Rocio Restrepo, third, plus 144. The legend is what I like to call her, Carolyn Dorn Ballard, in 4th at plus 117. Shot 266 in game 4. Ashley Galante, former collegiate standout, spent some time at Pikeville and Weber International. She is 5th at plus 106. Cut number currently plus 44. And that's just after 4 games. Can Jamie Martin keep it going? Yes, she can. First one in the 10th.
7 in a row for her. After 3 spares to open up, she's making a good run here late. As is Mariana.
Good game there for Ayala there, 212. Get her back to the plus side of things. Felicia having some trouble in that right lane. Jamie Martin. Minus 43. And another one. The Omaha, Nebraska native. Just kind of going about her business. Staying even keeled, not too much reaction. After the shots, it's early, certainly. When you're trying to climb the ladder to get back to plus, big games certainly help. And when you get it out of your routine. She's got a great game going. Strike will give her 268. Shot from Clara. That one is high. She will leave the 3-6-10. Great game from Jamie Martin, 267.
good time to miss. Fill ball if you're going to end your string of strikes. Stephanie's looking down on the. When you see a player like Stephanie Johnson really eyeing a scoreboard down there, that means something must be happening. You see what's happening down there?
Well, looks like Megan Kelly has the back 7 currently. After a spare in the first frame.
Claire finishes with a 224. Mariana 212. As we already mentioned, Jamie Martin with a big 267.
Also see Shazwani Sahar from Malaysia. She has the front 7 on lane 18.
Stephanie Johnson steps up and strikes. 4 in a row for her. I don't know if you just saw that shot from Alicia. Hate to see a very good shot. That 8-pin just refusing to go.
Uh-oh. Rare open frame for Alicia Curran in the 10th frame. He'll finish with 208.
Yeah, big game from Jamie Martin. Helped her to get to plus 24 after 5. And I don't know. I haven't looked at the scores. You have them over there. What's the cut line about right now?
Cut line is plus 44 after 4 games.
So that will help her get back up there where she needs to be. Obviously, we have 6 more games this afternoon. We still have a couple, one more to go here for most everyone else. Plenty of time, but it always helps to make sure you're staying in shot of making sure you make that top 32. And on your far right lane, Stephanie Johnson stepping up in the 10th. She had the first one in the 10th. And she leads to 4, ending her run there. She can pick that up for a 246. And the defending champion here at the PWBA Wichita Open does finish it off, gets the 246.
Big game for Steph on cue. Nice finish there from Angelica Green. Back 4 for 190. And a couple opens, her lone opens were 2 washouts. 1, 2, 4, 10 she left. Well, Felicia Wong, a former shocker. Congrats to Felicia. I believe she made Team Canada. yet again, of course. Also back on the team with her sister, Samantha. Another former Shocker. A family back on Team Canada.
As we wrap up game number 5 here on 25 and 26. Felicia finishes with a 168. So Stephanie Johnson shoots 246 to get her back to the plus side. Looks like we got one more game to go here in this first block, 6 qualifying.
Momentary break in the action. A couple runs that we talked about. Megan Kelly cannot convert. I should say knock all 10 down the first shot of the 10. She went 9 spare strike for 269. We'll get her back to plus after 5 games. And Shazwani Sahar. She had the front 8, went 4 pin, made the spare in the 9th, and now looks like a split of some kind on the first shot of her 10th frame. We'll see what she finishes up with as our Game 6 competitors make their way to our featured pairs here on 23 and 4 and 25 and 26. Mention pwba.com/live, folks, for all of your standings. North Rock Lanes equipped with X Bowling. So you can check them out. Search for North Rock Lanes. You'll be able to find the live scoring. So again, North Rock Lanes equipped with X Bowling. We have live scores running here. So you can check that out as well. So you should always be in the know. As we begin things, Game 6 in round 1 of qualifying. Angie Ramirez Perea, former collegiate standout at the Maryland Eastern Shore. Ashley Rucker, just saw her strike the southpaw. Angie a southpaw as well. Holly-Ann Johansson from Wichita State University, current Shocker. In fact, you just saw her last week on the Intercollegiate Team Championships television show on CBS Sports Network. And Gabriella Mayfield. Rounding out the pair here. Gabby, former bowler at Central Missouri, assistant coach at Valparaiso University. So far, plus 18 after 5. Mayfield in the hunt. She'll open things up with a 10-pin. Mayfield from Lake Isabella, California, originally. Here is Ramirez on the left lane. That one a little weak at the pocket. Here's a 7-pin. Let's spare there for Mayfield to begin things. Coming up on 25 and 26. This is Wani Sahar, we just talked about. We have the front 8 for game 5. She'll be joined by April Ellis, Brandy Calderon, and Cassandra Lutholt. We'll be on 25 and 26 momentarily. We'll have updated standings, folks, momentarily. See one pair off to our right, just finishing up game 5. So be on the lookout for that in a few minutes or so. Shot there from Mayfield. Our points leaders through 4 events. Some of the TV results, of course, that have not been aired yet, are not included. Danielle McEwen leading the way there, 34,750. Top 5, second, Kelly Kueller, 30,700. Shannon Puhowski, 28,000. New Way Finn, Singapore, 25,250. Liz Johnson rounds out the top 5 in points. 24-5. McEwen, Liz Johnson, each made match play in 4 events. As you see, our bowlers make their way on 25 and 26. Game 6 will be underway shortly for those individuals. You see Kelly Kulik off to our left. She'll peek into your screen. A live scoring link now active on pwba.com/live. Click on the live scoring. We'll take it to next bowling. So again, if you're looking for a particular individual, particular player, make sure you check the lane schedule. So X Bowling does a solid job of letting you know who's on the pair and what lanes. Shot there from Sydney Brummett off to our left. Sydney got some good time with the media yesterday as well. Here is Shaswani Sahar. Sahar two-pin. Begin things again. Sahar, April Ellis, Randy Calderon, and Cassandra Lutho.
I'm not quick enough to turn it off. I had to take off the headset so I can cough.
There's a rucker momentarily as you see Angie Ramirez on the left lane here. The PWBA Las Vegas Open qualifying match playing group step ladder. We had PBA champion, former player of the year, Patrick Allen on our week one session, and he commented, talked about some of the progress as Ashley Rucker gets some help. He is back on the strike train in the fourth frame. But PA talked about Angie Ramirez and some of the things she has worked on. All release, adding some tools to the bag essentially, and expecting her to have a great season. In fact, many I talked to prior to the season and beyond. Thought Angie would have a very successful season. Of course, we'll be on the watch to see how Angie does, of course. Already essentially coming into her own. She was a collegiate standout at Maryland Eastern Shore. A few national titles. All trying to take that success, formulate it, and produce on the PWBA tour. Angie did make the televised step ladder of the Storm Sacramento Open. And we'll get a chance to check that out in a few weeks on CBS Sports Network. Here's April Ellis. Looking good to see April back on the lanes. April, national champion at Pikeville University back in 2004. Mayfield looking for 4 in a row. She'll kick the 10. She didn't like it, however. I always tell the bowlers, of course, depending on the result, just kind of throw the hands at it, just kind of keep the hands down low and kind of wave it off. Gabby didn't like that one, but she'll take it. A lot of talented individuals on tour. We mentioned Holly Ann, member of Junior Team USA.
So is that Gabby throwing a strike and coming up here and telling you about it?
That was Gabby. She's been on a live stream pair before, and I think she commented on the most strikes she's had on the live stream pair specifically. She's having a good day. She's plus 18 after 5. Again, just another example of a young collegiate standout trying to make things happen on tour.
April Ellis over on the right lane, far right there. Starts with the front 3.
See Brandy Calderon.
Angie, third in a row. Here in the 6th frame, game number 6.
Shot there from Calderon. He's got 3 in a row. Brandy, no stranger to collegiate success as well. Former second-team All-American at Arizona State. Also the sister of 2002 Masters champion, Brett Wolf. Here is Mayfield. Back it again. We're 5 in a row. Some striking going on now on our featured pairs. And if you're just joining us, folks, we welcome you to North Rock Lanes in the wonderful Wichita, Kansas. The 2016 PWBA Wichita Open. With Terry Bigham, Jason Thomas, I'm Emil Williams Jr. Thank you for tuning in on Extra Frame, Bowl TV on Extra Frame, part of our partnership, the Professional Bowlers Association. There's Tom Clark, Mike J, Jeff Goodger, and the gang. You're watching game number 6, our first round of qualifying. This is the morning afternoon block. We'll have a break. Our second block will begin at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have our final 6-game block. To determine our top 32, we'll move on to the cashier's round and compete tomorrow morning. We'll have a recap for you, of course, of today's events. Later this evening. April string stops at 3. She's got the 2-8 sleeper to deal with, while Ramirez here on 24 looking for 4 in a row.
That'll work.
Now mark that one down as an X on the scoreboard. She'll take it.
And Cassandra, also a national champion at Nebraska.
Absolutely.
Former junior Team USA member. Did I miss all this? You already told everybody this while I was walking away? Get you a bottle of water. You look thirsty over there.
I am a little thirsty, Terry. I appreciate that. The funny part is I won't even open it until this game's over.
No drinking on the air?
It depends. Well, no. No drinking on the air.
No, it's just checking to see, you know.
Got the boss.
Sometimes I listen to Matt and Aaron and I'm questioning whether or not they have been drinking on the air.
The boss is here with us, so we got to be on the straight and narrow.
Just waiting for my phone to start lighting up with a text from Aaron after that comment. But I'm sure he's busy working hard at the Women's Championships. So.
And in our pairs here, 23-24, Andy Ramirez-Perea, Gabriella Mayfield. We're having fun on the left side of the score monitor there. Good shot there from April Ellis. There is Ashley Rucker, southpaw. She will lead the 3-5-6.
Angie and Gabby. Gabby? Does she go by Gabby?
You can call it Gabby.
How you feel? Both looking for big games. This game. Both hanging out there just right around the plus-minus side right there.
This would be
a 1,000 after 5 games.
A very good way to end the first round of qualifying.
Get some momentum heading into round 2 this afternoon.
Good shot from Ramirez. A few lefties in the field. We've seen a couple. Jellamar Beasley, in fact, near the top of the standings. Not only is she now near the top, she is at the top of the standings now after 5 games updated. Added 220 in game 5. She is plus 219 after 5 games. Rocio Restrepo at plus 202. Lee Jane Sin, her first game under 200, and that drops her, of course, from the top spot. She shot 194 and now is in 3rd at plus 194.
That's tough.
Kelly Kulik, 4th at plus 164, and Amanda Green. Good games in 4 and 5, 246, 268. She is 5th now at plus 152. And with the bowlers on our pairs here.
Cassie's she's in 13th. She's heading into this game at 11:04.
April Ellis in 20th at plus 78. I mentioned Mayfield. String ends here in the 8th. She leaves a 10-pin. Abby at plus 18 in 57th. Angie at minus 51. -77, so some ground to make up. Ollie Ann at -62. Had some local support as well, current shocker. Ashley Rucker, she's +25 and 51st in a good position. Shizwani Sahar, -36. She struggled early, 182, 158, 184, 185, and then got to a good pair. Shot 255 to make some things happen. And a 9-pin. Looking for her second strike. She is staying clean, however. Now 5 single pin leaves now for Sahar. Cut line currently, and after 5 games, is +53.
Seeing that Kelly Kulik was over here talking, one of the bowlers on our pair. She's not sure if you can pick her up over there. She's over on the over on lane 22, 21, 22. She's had a couple of now we're doing video review. We had a question here about whether a rake or a pin took down a pin or a.
And that it did. As I turned my attention away from the action to take a look at the cut score. Well, 1 pin came roaring around to help Sahar knock down that 9 pin before the rack came down. So a strike for Shizwani in the 6th frame. And that's a much needed strike as well. Just her second. Head's always on a swivel when we have the tournaments because there's so much happening. Scores and strings of strikes are always going on, in many cases not in our immediate viewing point. So when we hear a lot of clapping, I tend to just look, where's the clapping?
And April Ellis doubles there in the 6th. She's laughing about having to come over here and get a video review.
Probably should write a policy about that.
I don't know if we can officially give video review, but I guess if we have a look at it and we can help out, we're always willing to help out.
There's generally a 30 to 40 second delay, of course. We'd like to monitor the stream, make sure all is well. And so it's essentially an inadvertent instant replay. Natalie Goodman had some good shots late. Vanderbilt bowler. Jellamar Beasley to our left as well, and a good fist pump. And your leader after 5. 23 and 24. Coming to an end here. But Angie will come back and get a different ball to try on the field shot. Good shot for April Ellis. April 78 over after 5. Gonna add to that total. Spare there for Calderon.
Sandra jumping up there, thinking she's ready to go. Sahara says, hang on. Had a delay. I need to go up there and bowl first. There you go. AG. Ball worked on the fill. She finishes with a 227.
Sahar trying to turn a good break into some momentum. Break in the 6th. Turns that into a double. Ashley Rucker finishes with 167. Sydney Brummett. When you peek momentarily to your video screen, you'll see her ball go down the lane. Brummett 67 over after 5. She had a very good Queens. 13th after qualifying. Was near the top of the leaderboard in the Queens for quite some time as well. Brummett and her teammate Johansson here, fortunately dealing with the pocket 7-10. Current Shockers and current Junior Team USA members.
So is Gabriella telling you that she's had like 8 times more strikes this game than she's had previously on the extra frame?
Yeah, this is her breakout moment on extra frame.
She's going to want me to be back in the booth. I think
it might be you.
I've heard lately I've been a good luck charm to people.
I heard that too.
Always willing to help out.
Mayfield can put another on the board. No help on the 9-pin. Shoot 258.
258. I was about to say that. Got to quit jumping all over your lines, right?
My bad.
I'll just stay over here and talk about April Ellis, putting her 4th in a row here in the 8th. She's had 1 miss so far.
Talked about fitness and how the players continue, of course, to keep themselves in tip-top physical shape. Always be prepared for the tournament grind and the tour grind, essentially. April is no stranger to a fitness regimen. Got what day she is on her run streak. I think it's close, if not a full year at this point. Those are the things you learn and talk to former players, of course, or players currently, but benefits of social media as Cassandra Lutho slaps that out. The messenger got the 10. We don't see a lot of slap outs, at least I haven't seen them, but we do see it. I personally enjoy it.
Yeah, she came back with slapping it out with April Ellis. It's obviously being competitors for quite a few years. Get to know each other. say quite a few years, like it's been a long time. You know, I think 6 or 7 years probably competing against one another. And when you look back in juniors and from juniors through collegiate.
A little high, no help on the 9-pin as well for April here in the 9th frame. Sahar got away from her there. This is the head pin right. 6 count in the 9th frame. Drummond and Johansson bowling next to each other. Kelly Kulik finished with 184 in game 6. Eddie Garcia, also local to Wichita, 206. Natalie Goodman finished strong with 226 as well. Drummond Johansson on their way to Junior Team USA camp. So begin, I believe, Sunday.
Going right from here to there.
International Training and Research Center. USBC campus in Arlington, Texas.
Get to work with Rod Ross and, of course, Kim Terrell-Kearney. Nick Bohannon, ITRC team, staff there. Obviously some of the best coaches and trainers in the world. Just talking with, we did an interview with Kayla Bandy. She was talking about how her 2 years on junior team, the amount that she learned during that time, she said, was she can't even begin to explain what she learned from those from Rod Ross and Kim Terrell-Kearney during that time.
Certainly a valuable experience, of course, for those who have that opportunity to represent the United States in international competition on either level. Someone familiar with international competition is Shizwani Sahar, big double in the 10th frame, representing Team Malaysia. Sandra Luthold striking the 9th frame. She's got the back 6 when she begins her 10th frame. Nine spare and the 10th for April Ellis.
Shoot 246. Or Cassandra or
hanging in there to finish things off for Sahar. Her 212, so she started to find some things. On the back half, games 5 and 6. 255, 212.
Nice 245 for April Ellis. I said coming into this game, Cassandra, she was in 13th spot at plus 104. Obviously, we'll add to that.
Shot there. 2 balls on 2 different lanes.
Could add a whole lot more to that.
something a little different on the left lane. She will now finishing here on the right lane. For 7 in a row. Randy Calderon would like to save this game. That one's got to get some help on the Brooklyn side. She'll leave a 6-pin. Megan Kelly to our right. Chance to shoot 279 entering the 10th frame. A washout there. First shot in the 10th. Loose hold. One more for Cassandra.
She's over here digging through the bag. Try something here for the fill ball. Are you an experimenter like that? Do you do that?
When a situation presents itself, certainly. It's good to get an idea. Week 10 there to finish things off. Big 257.
Move her into the top 10, you would think.
Certainly help. Calderon, final shot in the 10th frame for Brandy. 186. Oh, competition. It's about done, folks. Again, don't forget to check pwba.com/live for all of your updated standings. You will see the round 1, round 2 links available. Make sure to click on those. We will be back with you on the air on Extra Frame at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our second 6-game block. Until then, we will talk to you at that point. We'll leave you with a little action so we can get you of Jessica Lesiganich and Diana Zabialova as they finish their 10th frame. But for Terry Bigham, Jason Thomas, tournament staff, of course, Bill Williams Jr., we'll talk to you this evening. PWBA Wichita Open continues on. You are watching the 2016 edition of the Wichita Open PWBA style Bowl TV on Extra Frame. We'll see you soon.